It's that wonderful time of the year again, when YouTubers of all kind gather together to talk about one glorious scene. And this time, yours truly has come prepared. Hey everyone, I'm Sebastian from Reviews, and today I'm bringing in the big guns, or big blasters, as I talk about one musical scene from one of my favorite movies of all time, Star Wars. Not Empire, not Jedi, not The Phantom Menace, not The Last Jedi, Star Wars. I don't think it's an exaggeration for me to say that Star Wars would never be as iconic and as memorable as it is if it weren't for the magic created by God's gift to mankind, John Williams. I'm even gonna go as far as to say that if it wasn't for John Williams, Star Wars would have been written off as just another crappy sci-fi movie in a time when sci-fi was still considered box office poison. Hell, for years I've even been asking, if not begging, for the possibility of seeing a Star Wars movie shot entirely free of dialogue as the music helps direct the story, in a style akin to that of Genndy Tartakovsky, for example. And to a degree, we kind of got that with The Last Jedi. And to my surprise, it was everything I was hoping it would be, and more. John Williams has given Star Wars a sense of identity that has yet to be imitated or matched, though that doesn't mean that there haven't been others who have put their own musical stamp into the galaxy far, far away. Truth be told, I'm kind of setting myself up for failure with this one, as there is literally way too many different amazing scenes to talk about, especially when it comes to music. I could legitimately choose from any one of several movies, shows, and expanded material that doesn't include Jedi Ewoks and Mother Teresas who can literally stop death cause the plot says so. And yes, these are actual things that happened in the expanded universe that thankfully is no longer canon. The reason I'm picking A New Hope over, say, The Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, Rogue One, or really anything from the sequel trilogy is honestly pretty simple. A New Hope is quite seriously my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. Not because it's the best written, not because it's the best directed, not because it has the best action scenes. Simply put, it has that moniker because of my choice for a one musical scene. And if you've seen this movie, or hell, even if you haven't seen this movie, you already know which scene I'm talking about. I could have been easy and just chosen the Battle of Yavin, the escape from the Death Star, but anyone who knows me knows exactly what scene I'm gonna be talking about.
Oh, it's beautiful.
This moment, right here, these 30 seconds worth of footage, which in any other film would have been cut for time without a second glance, has been ingrained into my mind ever since I was a kid and still brings tears to my eyes even now as an adult. No dialogue, no fancy tricks, not even any fancy cinematography, just a simple shot of Luke Skywalker looking melancholically into the twin suns that inhabit the planet of Tatooine, while John Williams' amazing score crescendos throughout the scene. To this day, not a single scene, Star Wars or otherwise, has ever provided me with more visual storytelling, more emotion, and more subtext to be analyzed. But why is that? What is it about this scene, this music, and everything in between that makes it such a perfect and iconic moment? Well, I can't speak for everyone else, but I've always had my own interpretation on this scene and what it truly represents. For context, this scene follows Luke Skywalker after an argument with his uncle ends with him finding out that he is to stay working on his farm for another year, despite an agreement that they had allowing Luke the opportunity to leave like his friends did. Luke is then seen staring into the horizon as the binary sunset bathes over the desert as the music plays in the background, letting all of Luke's disappointment wash over his hopes and dreams for a better life. If this were a musical, this would definitely be his I Want song. And yes, now that Disney owns Star Wars, I am contractually obligated to make this joke.
I want adventure in the great wide somewhere. I want it more than I can tell.
Looking back at A New Hope from different stages of my life, I've always had multiple different thoughts in my mind over what I was seeing. As a child, away from the stress and fears of the real world, this scene always gave me a sense of mystery and wonder. Tatooine is a poor and barely inhabited planet outside of the Outer Rim, where crime and gang violence is not only rampant, it makes up a large part of the economy. I grew up in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Not exactly a crime-infested place, unless you count our government. Does that technically mean that Puerto Rico is more like Coruscant? But I've always felt small and alone in a rock looking up at sights bigger and brighter than what I'm used to. Watching this scene as a kid, it made me feel like the world was much bigger than what it was. So big that if a planet with 2 suns could exist, then what else is out there waiting for me to discover? In less than 37 seconds, all of these feelings managed to wrap up in my head as I was watching this scene as a child. Not to mention the music, as beautiful and majestic and otherworldly as it is, also inspired a sense of hope and greatness to come. You couldn't put your finger on it, but the entirety of this scene would hit you and it would linger on even after you finished seeing it. But why is that? I have been trying to answer this question for years, and I believe I have an answer worth spending at least 10 minutes worth justifying a mid-roll or two over. As a child, this scene filled me with excitement for the future. And then, the future came, and things remained the same.
Is there anything I might do to help?
Oh, not unless you can alter time, speed up the harvest, or teleport me off this rock.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm stuck here.
You'll get your chance to get off this rock. You're going to the academy next term, aren't you?
Not likely. I had to cancel my application.
What for?
My uncle needs me.
Oh,
No, I'm serious. The sand people have been getting really crazy. They've even raided the outskirts of Anchor.
come on, Luke.
Watching this scene as an adult began to bring an unexpected sense of sadness and loneliness, something that I never expected to feel watching Star Wars. The scariest feeling I've had these past few years was the idea of having to grow up to a dangerous world that I was not ready for, and one that didn't care about me any less than it does for the rest of its people. Growing up where I live, it always felt like it was only a matter of time for many of us to pack up everything and go, leaving behind everything in search for something bigger than what we could possibly get being stuck on a rock far away from those worlds, and finding out what else loomed out there apart from those twin suns. Rewatching this scene served instead as a reminder of everything that I promised myself I would discover. New worlds, new friends, and different opportunities and experiences, only to end up stuck, alone, and unable to stop staring at that same sunset that serves as a reminder of where I'm from and also where I'm meant to live and die in. The funny thing about the binary sunset scene is that even though it was first seen in A New Hope, the moment has become so iconic and integral to the Skywalker lineage that it's been repeated 3 times throughout the series at different stages of Luke Skywalker's life: birth, death, and in the case of A New Hope, adulthood. No matter what stage of his life, that view of those twin suns are the closest thing to remind him of the home he once knew along with who he is. So, what exactly does the binary sunset mean? Truth be told, it can mean anything, but only you can decide that for yourself depending on how you're feeling or where you feel that you are in life. Whether it's bringing you hope, despair, loneliness, nostalgia, or something more, every time I look at that binary sunset and listen to that music, those feelings come back at a stronger pace, no matter how old I am or where I am in life. There is definitely a galaxy far, far away filled with many musical scenes, but for me personally, there truly is only one musical scene that stands out over many others that followed. So what do you think about whenever you see that binary sunset, and what goes through your mind when you do? Special thanks to Nando V Movies for allowing me the opportunity once again to gush about my favorite movies of all time in epic fashion. This is only one of tons of other videos talking about one musical scene. If you'd like to see more, then check out the One Musical Scene playlist. Thank you so much for watching. I'd like to give a special shout out to my patrons of honor: Wait in the Wings, Chelsea A Crandall, Abigail Verzella, and Kate from KateCast Reviews. If you'd like to be like these patrons and help support the channel, then check out our Patreon page for bonus content and exclusive rewards, including the chance to request a show or movie for us to review in the future. As always, I'm Sebastian from Cinemageddon Reviews signing out, and I'll see you on the wasteland.